Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. This is your weekly energy reading where we talk all about what's happening in the current energy, the weekly energy, the collective energy that's impacting each and every one of us, and how we can use this week, use this energy to make the most out of it. So, oh my God, I'm looking at myself. Guys, I got a spray tan today, and yeah, like I haven't, you know how like when you get a spray tan but you haven't been able to wash it off yet because you can't wash it off till the next day, you just look like you have a bunch of dirt all over your skin. So wow, interesting look for me today. But anyway, I totally like, what's that movie? I think it's there's something about Mary where she has that roommate that's like really ridiculously tan. That's how I feel today. But anyway, let's take a look at the energy. So let me talk about what's going on first. So first of all, I've been in sessions all day and I come back to my phone and I have literally 28 messages on my phone. Text messages from people who are having a hard time with something, feeling the intensity, really struggling with something. So first of all, number one, I want to acknowledge that and let you guys know I'll get back to you. I'll work my way through the messages as I can. So please be patient with me. Sometimes it just gets like, it's a lot. So it's hard for me to keep up with all of it. So when the energy gets like this sometimes, it takes me a little bit to get back to you, not because I don't want to, but just because it's hard to respond to that many messages. So I'm working on it. But I also, this is exactly why I make these videos, is it gives us an opportunity to connect with what's going on with the energy so that you can listen to the messages and that you can take those messages and apply them to your life in whatever way this energy is showing up for you. And I do feel like I talked last time about how I find for me personally and for a lot of people that we do feel more sensitive, more emotional when we're here in Cancer season. And so that can be challenging. It's an unsettled energy in some ways. Have you guys been feeling unsettled? Have you been feeling like it's just hard to find that calm and find that peace? And I was talking with somebody in one of my sessions today, and she was telling me about how she coaches herself through that. And that's exactly what I do as well. It's like, you're okay. It's going to be okay. You know, like it might look different tomorrow, but, and then just coaching yourself through that and telling yourself, giving yourself what you're needing to navigate your way through that will be really helpful. And also understanding that this too shall pass. Like whatever is coming up for us, this too shall pass. And I think that that's important. But it does feel unsettled, and it felt like, especially yesterday, there were some massive shifts that were happening. I don't know. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at like what was going on with the Schumann resonance, and I know there was quite a few solar flares. There were lower level solar flares, but it just felt like we had some massive shifts. I felt like we were timeline jumping. I've been talking with you guys about how important this manifestation energy is that we have right now, and to use it because it's magnified. To use it to your benefit, not to your detriment. Because if you're using it to your detriment, you are getting caught in these thought loops and focusing on the things that you're not wanting and the things that aren't going right. And it's easy in energy like this to get in a loop and to get stuck there. So it's going to be very important for us to consciously be aware of that. What am I focusing my energy and my attention on? I've caught myself doing it several times because I find that I'm so sensitive in this energy, and it doesn't take much for me to feel like anxious and worried and things like that. So it just really brings that up for me. And I've been feeling that sense of being unsettled in a way. But I also know that this is just a feeling. It's just a season. It's just a time period. It's just a day that I'm experiencing this. Maybe it's more than a day, but it's okay. All is well, and it will be well, and everything is going to work out. And I think if we can come back to that idea, that's one of my favorite affirmations. Everything is always working out for me. Maybe put that in comments. Everything is always working out for me. Let's claim it here now. Everything is always working out for me. And by the way, if you're watching this on my YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure you're not already subscribed, but hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so that we can help this video to reach the people that it needs to reach. So everything is always working out for us. And even this, like this is giving us this opportunity to work through some things, to see some things, to experience some things. And part of what I am aware of here in this energy is that it feels as though the rose-colored glasses on some circumstances in our lives or some people or whatever it may be, they're coming off a little bit, right? And we're starting to see what has been an illusion or what is an illusion and what is not, what the truth is. So this energy is really powerful in helping us to see the truth. As long as we're not caught up in our emotions and letting our emotions tell us what the truth is, because it's not, our emotions tell us what aligns for us, but they don't always tell us what the truth is. And so take some time, if you're very, very emotional, take some time to really truly feel out what the truth of the situation is. But I do think that in this energy, there's like a clarity with some things. It's like maybe we've seen something that was just an illusion, or we're seeing something in a different way for the first time in a long time, or the first time ever. So we're exploring what has just been an illusion. And that's not always fun to see, right? Sometimes we prefer to stay in our illusions. But if something is coming to the surface, if you're seeing something, if you're aware of something, you're meant to see it. You're being shown it for a reason. And I think it's important to question, like, what is it that I need to see here? Why is this happening? Why are these rose-colored glasses coming off and I'm seeing this and I'm seeing it differently? Rather than choosing to like just slam those rose-colored glasses back on and to slide back into the illusion and cause yourself further pain, further delay is the word that I want to use, further difficulty. It's like, no, like see it for what it is. And we're being invited to see it for what it is, whatever it is. Maybe it's many things. And that can feel hard. That can feel overwhelming. I want to acknowledge that. But can we choose to see it for what it is? So what do I need to see? And what am I missing, right? I think in this energy is helping us to see what it is that we're missing. Or if something is coming up and you're like, wait a minute, it's coming up as this and I thought it was this. So then the question becomes, what am I missing? Like, what do I need to see? What do I need to know? What do I need to understand in order to be successful with some things? So in this energy, we are invited to have the courage to live and see the truth. So where are you feeling called to be more truthful or to live in a more truthful way and to honor that? That's going to be really important. I also connected with this message, and I think that this came up last week as well, that it's so important for us to be limiting distractions right now. So while your emotions are going to be poking at you and saying, pay attention to me, right? Our emotions right now are kind of like a tantruming child, and they're going to be pulling at us and really acting out in a lot of ways to get our attention if we allow it. And we want to honor those emotions, right? But we don't want to, in the same way that we would treat a child who is tantruming, we're going to treat that child with kindness. We're going to treat that child with love, but we're also not going to just give that child whatever it is that it wants, right? So we want to make sure that we are managing our emotions. This is a good test for how am I managing my emotions? How am I doing with that? Do I need to add in some new skills? And we want to be making sure that our emotions aren't distracting us too much from what it is that we feel called to be focusing on, what it is that we feel called to focus from a soul level, what we feel called to focus on. And we want to make sure that those emotions aren't driving our car, right? Aren't leading every decision we're making, everything that we're saying, every post that we're making on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or X or Twitter or whatever, any of these things. So being mindful of that and taking a pause. This is like check yourself before you wreck yourself energy. Take a little pause, feel it out, and listen to it, right? And you might find with this emotional energy that you're going to be reactive to stuff that's coming to the surface. It doesn't mean it's wrong. A lot of times, we don't love the truth when it comes up, but take a little time and just sit with it and feel what you need to feel around it without allowing that emotion to be leading you, honoring it, but not letting it lead you. And I think that it'll get you where you need to be. Now, I'm talking about seeing beyond the illusion and releasing the rose-colored glasses with some things, but that doesn't mean that we're doing that with everything, right? Because I think that we also in this energy need to intentionally be searching for and seeking the magic, because there's a lot of magic that's available to us in this energy, looking for signs and synchronicities and the ways that our manifestations are developing and happening, and holding gratitude for that and being excited about that. That's really key here in this energy. I had mentioned in a short that I had shared that this energy is also incredibly karmic. I want you to keep that in mind. How are you treating other people? How are you handling circumstances? Are you making people feel scared or unsafe? Or are you making people feel bad about themselves? Are you pressuring people in some way? Be mindful about the energy that you're putting out there. Are you handling situations in a way that don't meet the golden rule, right? Treating people as we would have them treat us. We want to make sure that the energy that we are putting out there is the energy that we want to be receiving, because I think there's a lot of instant karma that's happening. So knowing that karma is going to take care of stuff so we don't need to, there's no need to, even if you see a truth that you don't like, there's no need to try to get revenge or something like that, right? It's just acceptance, right? I think in this energy, we're being called to accept some things that we may not like, but are best for us for the long term. So seeing that, understanding that. I also feel really called to mention this because this has come up. When I'm talking about following our soul, when I'm talking about taking action and doing the things that we're feeling inspired to do, I'm talking about that coming from a soul level. That's very different than that coming from your ego. And you'll know if it comes from your ego because there'll be a lot of fear wrapped into it. It'll feel very needy. It'll feel very connected with fear. It'll feel like you're trying to soothe something or settle a beast within yourself, right? It just feels different. And so I really want to encourage you guys to think about what is my soul really calling for? And sometimes that's going to require us to get very quiet and to tune into that, because the voice of fear is always much louder. So if you're obsessing, if you're and it's constant worries in your mind, that's not your soul. That's your fear. And I think that that's important. I also have to acknowledge that when we're following that, we want to make sure that we're honoring energetic law, right? That we're honoring other people's free will, because I'm hearing some stories about people taking action on things and it's coming completely from ego. That's crystal clear to me. And not honoring other people's free will. Yes, we want to make sure that we're creating and we're manifesting things for ourselves and we're taking action without impacting other people's free will, other people's boundaries, other people's path that they have chosen for themselves. And so we want to make sure that we're differentiating that. That's important. And so if you are infringing upon, violating somebody else's free will, I would take that step back and just ask yourself, is this really coming from my soul? And take that time to really listen to that, because we want to honor everybody. Because again, we're in a time where there is instant karma, and karma will return. So we can also trust that if somebody has done something that has had a negative impact on us, that energy is something that they're going to be receiving back. So just be mindful about that. What kind of energy are we putting out there? And as we take action, as we focus on what we want to create, making sure that we're doing no harm in the process as much as we possibly can, right? How do we honor ourselves but also honor other people? So this is very important in this energy, and that felt like an important message to share. And I also feel like as we are going through these massive timeline shifts and we're starting to have new experiences and we're moving more and more into new earth, that we're just not going to have time for that, right? We're going to be more and more feeling that call and that pull to lead from the energy of love and to make our choices from the energy of love in a way that honors everybody. God, I see myself on this camera and this, I'm gonna shuffle my cards. I got a spray tan today, guys. I talked about it at the beginning, but it's so dark. It's so dark. I just haven't showered because you have to wait 24 hours. So excuse me while I look like a totally different version of myself. So how's everybody doing? Are you feeling unsettled? Are you feeling the magic? What are the manifestations? Because there's a lot that's manifesting right now as well. We just want to make sure we're honoring one another, that we're honoring ourselves, that we're honoring the truths that are coming through. Because if you're being shown something, you're being shown for a reason. It's not random. So what is the truth? There we go. Okay. Are you guys, if anyone wants to share, I would love to hear what the are there truths that are coming to the surface for you? It might be your truths. It might be internal truths that are popping to the surface. Like, oh, I just see this from a different perspective now. It might be information that's coming through. You know what they say? The truth will set you free. And it feels like that. We just have to be willing, because that ego loves to hold on to stuff. It loves it. All right, almost done. I want that card. Okay. Oh, okay. I see why. All right. 1 second, I dropped my card. Okay. So these two want to be together. Okay. Got it. All right. So we start out, unsettled. 5 of Pentacles, unsettled. We might feel in some ways like we haven't been valued. Maybe you feel like shut away, blocked off, like left out in the cold. Know that any changes that are happening are meant to be happening for you. Know that and understand that and honor that. Trust it, right? Trust the process of all of this. But to try not to stay in this, it's easy to settle into this lack-based energy right now where we feel like, oh, well, I don't have this and I don't have this and I don't have this. I don't even like to say it out loud because we're creating right now. We don't want to focus on what we don't have, what we don't want, what isn't going well. We want to focus on what we are creating because you are a powerful creator here in this world. I also get this energy of allowing other people to help us. You know, or maybe like you've been feeling this pull to get help with something, to allow help with something, and this is your message to do that. So making sure that you're doing that and taking time, the Hangman, to see things from different perspectives, to be open to seeing things from different perspectives, right? He's hanging upside down in this tree to gain enlightenment, right? And that's what all the light is around his head right here. So you might find that you're enlightened this week and you might not like it. You might not love the information that's coming through, but it's okay. We've got this. And Cancer season is going to give you an opportunity to cry it out, to release the emotion, to clear things out, to connect in a way that's deeper to your intuition, because that's what I love about Cancer season, is the way that I'm so much more deeply connected to my intuition. So there's blessings in that, but be open to different perspectives, be open to things being different than you thought that they were, and allowing it, flowing with it, doing our best to detach from wanting something to be a specific outcome. Keep coming back to flow. Cancer season is all about flow. Keep coming back to your flow. I said it before, like, keep coming back to the river, right? Keep coming back to your river that's carrying you into all the things that you want to be creating. But every time you worry, every time you move into that fear, or are trying to, or are too attached to a specific outcome, we're climbing out of that river and we're spending time in that riverbank. So we want to make sure that we keep getting back into the river. That's from one of my favorite books, the Book of Love and Creation by, oh my God, I'm like totally spacing on his name. Ask me for it. I'll give it to you guys if you guys want it, but it's called the Book of Love and Creation. Paul Selig is who it is. Okay, and the next card, I mean, from here, the energy is beautiful. So like I said, search and seek the magic this week, because there's a lot, okay? So as like the clouds clear away and we get to see some things for what they are and what we need to see, and that's not always a bad thing, right? It doesn't mean that it's all negative energy. It might be positive things, right? Where you're just like, oh, whoa, okay, I thought it was this, but it's this, okay. And so we adjust, but there's a celebratory energy with this Four of Wands. There's a coming together. I get this energy of coming together with other people. It's like things are being moved around so that other things can come together. So allowing that to come together. Maybe we're connecting with people that we're meant to connect with, that can help us with something that we need help with. Or maybe there is a coming together with somebody that you are wanting to have a relationship with, and that wants to have a relationship with you. This is a powerful connection if that's coming in during this time period. But again, like it feels like that comes in, and it's like, this is sort of this energy of there was somebody there all the time and you didn't know that they were there, right? And all of a sudden you see it and it's like, oh, okay, it's supposed to be that. This person is supposed to help me, or I'm, all of a sudden I'm feeling like I want to date this person. That kind of energy. But it's something worth celebrating. Or it might just be something in your world worth celebrating. Celebrate the magic, celebrate the manifestations that are coming through. I'm hearing about things manifesting left and right. I'm hearing all about how unsettled and uncomfortable and how this fear is coming up and this emotion is coming up, but I'm also hearing about how great it is. And that is this energy. It gets to be both. It is both. And this is the human journey. This is the spiritual journey that we're on here on earth. But look at this magic. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, right next to each other. How magical is that? This is happiness. This is joy. This is stability. This is what we're creating, right? This is the path that we're on. And do I think that in this week we're going to have everything that we're looking for? No, like that doesn't even, that's not possible. But do I think in this week we can have more of that? Yes. And can we keep holding the vision for the things that really align for our soul? But also be willing to take a look at maybe some of the things that we thought aligned for our soul don't. And as those rose-colored glasses are coming off, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't see that before, but now I do. And now I understand what I need to do, where I need to go in order to create my happiness. So this is a really beautiful thing. And last cards that we have, and these two literally jumped out of the deck together, we have the King of Wands and the Eight of Wands. The efforts that you're putting in are going to pay off big time, right? I see a lot of manifestations coming in. I see us really getting into a flow now with taking action and with taking inspired action, doing the things that we need to be doing, creating energetic movement in some areas of our lives, maybe in our work, maybe in other areas, but we're doing it. We're creating it. And with that, we have these opportunities that are coming in. And this is like hitting us hard and fast in the best possible way. You also might find that, oh, it feels a little overwhelming because there's a lot happening at once. What's meant to be is going to be flowing in. We also want to make sure that we're not so attached to it needing to be a specific way or outcome that we are blocking the blessings that are wanting to come in. And I think like that maybe for some people what the truth is that's coming out. What is the illusion is like, oh, it's thinking that it needed to be one way, but it's actually happening another way. And we're recognizing, wow, okay, so I don't need for it to happen that way. I'm detaching from the outcome. And as soon as we do that, it opens up the energy to allow the blessings to come in. So those are your messages. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think of my spray tan. Just kidding. But if you guys watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. Please let me know you watched all the way to the end. I always love to hear that. And let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you guys in comments. Please like this video. Please share this video if you feel called. Maybe tag somebody below that you think could use these messages. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you soon with another video. Take care.